thought Jordan Love's performance deserves a C-, and I'm giving him a C- only because of the waning moments of that game, that fourth quarter performance that he started to kind of come out of his shell. And I thought that even Matt LaFleur started to allow him the opportunity to come out the shell. But when you look at what the Kansas City Chiefs were able to do, the most disrespectful thing to do to a quarterback is to just flat out blitz him. Because that's telling a quarterback, young or old, that, hey, we're coming after you, you better make a play. And with Jordan Love and that offensive line, they never were able to combat that with playmaking on the counterproductive side of things. And so a large part of that is on Jordan Love. Now, he didn't look comfortable early in the game. He struggled getting Devontae Adams the ball, but I felt like at the waning moments, if I'm going to pull a Nick Wright, all these negative things, but then at the end of the game, when they needed him to make a huge, crucial fourth down conversion, who are you going to get the ball to? You're going to get the ball to Devontae Adams. Everyone in the stadium, including everyone watching, knew that. They did that. But you then continue to compile the errant throws with an interception at the end to seal the game. Like Jordan Love, I was expecting so much more, not only from him, but from even Matt LaFleur, getting him out of the pocket, allowing him opportunities to at least use his legs and be free. But that didn't happen. And if I'm the Green Bay Packer fan base, I'm a little terrified because Devontae Adams is a free agent.
A little terrified.
He didn't look excited. He didn't look like a guy that's willing to come back if Aaron Rodgers is not under center next year. And then you look at Aaron Rodgers, you don't know what the relationship is with that. So where do they go? Because Jordan Love, is he the answer? Not after last night.
See, Greg tries to be a Packers optimist. That's why he broke out the rarely used term, a little terrified. That means a lot terrified. If I'm giving this a letter grade, Nick, I'm giving it an E. An E, hey, pay attention, buddy. That's my take. You got to pay attention to a letter grade. You got to lock in, my friend.
No,
I'm trying to look up stats.
I was checking
to say, no, you know what? You're looking up Chiefs defense stats. You're going to be like, the Chiefs defense is actually really good. If I gave it a letter grade, I would give it an E for not great. And if you want to talk about how good the Kansas City Chiefs defense, E for E and then several H's.
That's not what E's for.
If you want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense, I actually thought, and I don't know if this is something that you can be mad at the defense, that they dropped too many interceptions. I think Jordan Love's stat line looks much better because they were Tyrann Mathieu literally had balls going through his head. He could have had 3 interceptions, maybe more. Mm-hmm. So I strong for me.
Yeah, by the way, Wildes, I apologize. I was listening to you. I just was checking my entire scholastic, resume, which is quite good, if I may say so myself, to see if I ever got an E. But the answer is no, because that's not a thing. That's not a grade. I'm with Greg almost entirely. So. I gave him a D+, which is just a tick below C-. And the reason he didn't get an F was just because of the end. Jordan Love realized there is a great way to move the football. It's the single best way to move the football in the NFL. Look around the field and say, hey, where's 49 for the Chiefs? Daniel Sorensen? Throw it at him.
Uh-oh.
That is, guys, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Sore spot.
I hope Derek Carr doesn't know that.
He's got to go.
He's got to go. Listen, he forced the fumble against the Texans the year we won the Super Bowl in the playoff game that flipped the game. God love you, Daniel Sorensen. You'll be a Chiefs ambassador. You got to go. And by the way, if we're getting rid of people, you know who also might have to go after that game? Brian Gutekunst. He maybe should just tender his resignation. He's caused all this mayhem in Green Bay to draft that guy? Listen, I understand it's his first start. I know it's his first start, Jenna. But he's been in the league a year and a half. Troy Aikman almost jumped out of the booth. He was so frustrated. Troy was like Jordan. The thing is, when there's no one in the middle of the field, you know where you should throw? The middle of the field, Jordan. He's a first-round pick. He's been in the league a year and a half. I give him a D+ because he did rally a bit at the end, but that was real bad, Jenna. Bad for Jordan Love, worse for Gutekunst.
Yep. All right, Kevin Wildes, what did Baker prove in his first game since OBJ's release?
Well, that quarterback wins matter that I've been saying my entire career. I'm a quarterback wins guy. And guess what? I didn't hear any complaints in the post-game press conferences, Greg. And I know wide receivers need the ball, but here's Baker's targets. 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. Jarvis had 5 and had 3 catches. Donovan Peoples-Jones led the Browns with 86 yards. He had 2 catches. There was no complaints. I feel like everyone, that Browns organization, little me, not enough we. Not a urination thing, just we, like as a group.
Sure.
So overall, I thought it was a strong performance from Baker and the Browns.
I hope you have small children.
Well, I do. You know I do.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I thought it was a strong performance from Baker. But again, I've said this all year. When we talk about the Browns, Baker Mayfield he's a second option. Like, their running game is first. So when you get Nick Chubb back, Baker, what do you need to do? Turn the ball and hand it off to Nick Chubb and let him do what he does in this offensive line. It works. It takes all the pressure. It alleviates so much pressure off of Baker Mayfield. It is ridiculous. Look at what it caused them to do yesterday. And talk about all the targets and spreading the ball around. He's not going down the field consistently. He's not trying to force the ball. Even Kevin Stefanski, as a play caller, can relax and just allow the game to unfold versus trying to figure out a way to get the ball to one of the best playmakers in the game when you actually can get it to him.
While the Browns, I'm sure, are very happy with this performance and they're happy Odell wasn't there, you know who also is happy Odell wasn't there? Odell. Because if he's watching this game, he's like, yeah, that's not fun. Sorry. Baker completed 6 passes to wide receivers. 6! If you take out the 60-yard bomb to Donovan Peoples-Jones, he had 52 yards passing to wide receivers. The story of that Browns game is Denzel Ward's pick 6, the Bengals coming back down to earth, and Myles Garrett, my God, man, he has 12 sacks and 12 tackles for a loss this year. Leads the NFL in both. So to me, this was not really, this wasn't a Baker Mayfield vindication game. This was a Browns got back to winning the way they have previously, which is trust the running game, ask Baker to do very little, have the wide receivers play bit parts. But if you think the Browns are going to need in years to come a number 1 receiver, they're not going to get one in free agency. Because whether people want to say Odell handled it poorly or not, other guys across the league see how the Browns play, and that doesn't seem fun for wide receivers. Even in a game where they score 40, the offense, passing-wise, does very little, and the little they do was not to wide receivers, aside from the one play Donovan Peoples-Jones. So I actually don't think Jenna Baker proved much. I think the Browns organization proved something. Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward proved something. And the Bengals got to figure out who the hell they actually are. All of a sudden, Joe Burrow leads the league in interceptions. Thank you, Joe. Took that title from Patrick Mahomes. Again, Mahomes turned it around. And the Bengals went from their high moment to back to being the Bengals awful quick, Jenna.
Mahomes turning around on that one play. Do we need to reevaluate Josh Allen and the Bills after Sunday's upset loss in Jacksonville? Josh Allen?
I think so. I mean, listen, they are great at kicking the crap out of bad teams. At least they used to be. Because last week it was 17-11 in the fourth quarter against Miami. It was 3-3 at the half. And this week they lost to the Jags. Their wins this year have come against Miami twice, Washington, Houston, and their one good win is against Kansas City. That's an unacceptable loss. And this whole idea of, well, it's not Josh Allen's fault. Okay, yesterday definitely was. Defense held the Jags to 9 points and they lost. And on the season, someone explained to me, Wildes, how is that the overwhelming favorite to win MVP? He's outside of the top 10 in more categories than he's in the top 10. In what universe is he the league MVP? In what universe is he even? Right now, he's still huge favorite. I can't conceptualize how that's true. And that is a terrible loss, Wildes, for the Bills. Unacceptable loss.
Well,
right now, he's a huge favorite in Vegas. He's plus 250.
Still?
Brady's plus 450. He's the huge favorite this morning.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What in the world? Okay, it's going to be Brady. So here's the thing, Greg. I said that I put the Bills on upset alert because they played so curiously against the Dolphins. So what's the deal with this team, especially coming after a bye at home? Their offensive line was also scrambled. So if they do get the offensive line back, I guess they're going to be a lot better. But they also proved here that they have no offensive line depth, that the Jaguars can do anything they want if you lose a few guys, which remind me a little bit, and this is not a shot at the Chiefs, but if they do get it together and then they lose a guy, maybe it'll look like the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So they need to figure out what they're doing in that offensive line, because once you lose this game, that you are 14.5, I think it went up to 15 at one point favorites. Bad loss for Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, this was a bad loss. And Nick, I'm on board. I am on board. We do need to pump the brakes on Josh Allen and let this continue to play out, because from what we've seen from the start of the season, it's been a roller coaster. 1 week he's going to not throw you an interception. The next week he's going to throw you one. And it's on and on and on. You cannot be an elite quarterback doing that every single week, putting your team in jeopardy and giving the ball back to your opponent. And Josh Allen has done that this year. And we are expecting him to have grown out of that after seeing what he did last year. And so when we look at that and we see, okay, now they can run the ball. Well, that was a facade, because they really don't run the ball. And it's all about Josh Allen.
They don't run the ball.
Can you win this game for us?
Right.
They don't, Jenna. They don't. And so for me, if we're just making this about Josh Allen, yeah, we need to pump the brakes, because I don't think he can handle as much as they're putting on his plate.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.